Welcome in to Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs. Let's get rock hard. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another episode of Rock Hard Ball. As always, I'm Carter, that's Weezy. We got Clyde here as well, sitting off to the side, being a good little boy, waiting for his turn to talk. So we thank you all for joining us for another edition of Rock Hard Ball. Today we got a lot to go over. Once again, got to recap all of college football, NFL, and then we'll also look ahead this upcoming weekend in both college and pro. Apologize, Monday episode out. Weezy and I are both on our fall break from college, so we're both at home. Just didn't really have, the time or the setup to do an episode. So apologies there, but we'll get all of the content in here today as well. Also, we had NBA kicking off this week as well. So I don't really know if we'll talk about that a lot, but we might discuss it a little bit here and there. But there hasn't really been, anything too exciting so far, has there?
No, we can talk about it later, though.
Yeah. All right. That being said, though, let's just hop in, though, to college football right away. We'll recap the past week. So first things first, we'll talk about Friday games a little bit. Oregon, pumped Purdue. Pretty expected. Don't really have to talk about much there. BYU had a little bit of a scare at home, though, playing Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State had been, pretty lackluster for most of this year, really. They had a couple bad losses early on. Looked like a shell of their former selves or what we expected them to be this year. But they gave BYU a hell of a run for their money. BYU had to come back into this one. They were down by a touchdown at the half, ended up winning by 3. So, still get out of it. I don't know. I didn't watch the game, though.
No, I mean, Ollie Gordon finally picked up. But again, it's just the same stuff with them. It's like you got to feed him the ball. He's one of the best running backs in the country. They only gave him 16 touches. He still had 106 yards, I think, 107, 2 touchdowns. But no, BYU survives, and they just keep winning ball games.
That's all I think you really have to do in the Big 12, too. The conference as a whole has been a lot weaker than maybe we expected. Right? It's at least teams that we didn't expect are in the running. So BYU just keeps winning. It could end up coming down to them in Iowa State. So probably a conference championship matchup that a lot of people didn't see coming. Getting to Saturday's games, let's lead off with the big ones right away. Top 5 matchup last week, Georgia and Texas. Georgia just got out and on top of them right away. They're up 23-0 going into half. Texas able to score 15 unanswered to open up the second half. But the little rally kind of stopped there. Georgia ended up being the only one to score in the fourth quarter. Kind of a weird game. Ewers got benched at one point for Manning, who didn't have hardly any more success. So then Ewers came right back in. Yep. Kind of a weird choice, I think. If I start to do that, it's like,
yeah. And then after the game, he was like, "Well, that's like the good thing about this team is like we have a guy like Manning off the bench." But it's like I just don't see the point, like you said. Like if Quinn Ewers can do it, Arch Manning's not going to come in here and suddenly start slinging her all around the field.
Yeah, so really weird, just dynamic there in general. And again, I just don't know what they're doing. Let's talk about Georgia though. After a game like this, if you beat the number 1 team in the country on the road, you would like to have a little bit more confidence. But the fact that Carson Beck threw 3 picks in this game, I think, is definitely concerning.
Yeah,
for Georgia. But I guess if you look at the flip side, you can say, well, they were still able to beat a team like Texas on the road when Carson Beck plays one of his worst games this season. So
yeah, 100%. And like it's the same problem though. He keeps turning the ball over. Happened against Bama, which again is still weird to think about how like you look at that game. Bama now, who we'll talk about them later, who's just now a bad football team. We're able to beat them because Carson Beck has turnover problems, but in this case, it's not not a problem at all. They took care of business from the start.
Yeah, Trevor Etienne also very, very good. He was kind of had to be a little bit of a bell cow in this one. He had almost 20 carries for just under 90 yards, 3 touchdowns. So it's again good for Georgia to know. I think just as a team that when Beck is off, you have a guy like Etienne who can carry the load and still get you to a point where you can beat good teams like Texas. So Georgia, hell of a bounce back now. Again, after like we just mentioned, they lost that game to Bama a few weeks back. But now they are right back in the running for possibly getting back even to that number 1 spot for the number 1 team in the country.
So we're watching. No, it was a safety punt. He just kicked it right up into the air. Was that like a punt version of an onside kick?
I don't think you can do that on safety though.
No, I think it is live on a safety. But yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
He just skied it right up.
Yeah. For anybody who's not watching the Vikings-Rams game, the Vikings punter just skied it in the air. Theory is that maybe they were trying to get kind of an onside thing. It's a minute and a half left. They're down by 10. So, yeah, I don't know. Weird thing that just happened in that Thursday football game there. Anyways, let's move forward, though, with college football games. We already mentioned Alabama, so let's just move to them next. They lose for the second time this year, 24-17 to Tennessee. I felt like this was honestly a long time coming. Not really a long time, but I guess it seemed almost inevitable. Much Alabama was continuing to struggle to win games against lesser opponents. Now they play a team like Tennessee, who's had a good year so far. Obviously, they had the one loss as well. That's not great. Milroe played his worst game of the season, threw a couple picks. They couldn't get the ground game going all game. Hell of a game from Tennessee running back Dylan Sampson. He carried it 26 times for 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. But Tennessee, really controlled the game in the second half. It was pretty lackluster. Alabama had a 7-0 lead at halftime, and Tennessee came out hot right away. Scored 14 in the third, another 10 in the fourth, and got the job done. A little bit of panic button now for Alabama, right?
You have to, right? My funniest thing, like with this whole game, is like I don't know if you've been on Twitter, but all these Bama fans, like we have to let like DeBoer like get his guys. It's like you guys have 27 5-stars.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Why would you want him to bring these
like,
guys?
If you can't win with Saban's guys, like that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like again, I don't want to discredit Tennessee's been good. The other lost. Vandy.
Yeah, Vandy.
Yeah, I was totally misspeaking there. Yeah, it's a little bit of a panic. Again, though, they're still going to make the playoff, I would imagine. What does the rest of their schedule look like?
I mean, it's the SEC, so they still have Missouri at home next week. Who knows what version of Missouri you're going to get? I think Brady Cook's not going to play, or at least pointing towards he wasn't going to,
really,
or something like that. Or it was at least a very realistic possibility that he can't play. I don't know if they've actually made a ruling on it yet. They had to go on the road to now number 8 LSU, who, whatever,
still fraudulent.
I don't know. And then they somehow get to play Mercer in the third to last.
No, yes, that's SEC bullshit. It's SEC. They all play their bye weeks there.
Yeah. And then they finished the year on the road at Oklahoma, which isn't a very good team, and then at home versus Auburn. So their 2 hardest remaining games there the next two weeks. So I guess they do have actually an off week between Missouri and LSU, so that helps as well probably. But yeah, no, they're definitely in danger of missing the playoff, to say the least. They dropped quite a bit in this week's AP ranking. We'll get to that a little bit later. Good win for Tennessee too. That let's not discredit them at all here. Obviously, they had that one loss as well a couple weeks back to Arkansas. Now you bounce back a little bit with a couple close wins against Florida and Alabama. Their toughest game remaining on the schedule is going to be on the road at Georgia, which again going to be very, very tough. But assuming they win out the rest of their games, they should be in a position to get in the playoffs. So definitely more shakeups though happening in the SEC this year than I think anybody would.
I think in all of college football.
All of college football, yeah.
Because I mean, we talked about how Texas looks like the only team that was running away with everybody. They looked like the true total complete team. And now you think, okay, well, it's not them clearly. So who is that top team? And right now, you probably just have to lean on Oregon.
Yeah, it's weird. Let's just quickly run through, I guess, the other games. I guess the one other one that maybe deserves a little bit more discussion before we kind of just rapid fire through these. Miami escapes again. They play Louisville 52-45 was the final score. I don't know. I mean, this one was a little bit different than the other ones. They didn't come back from a huge deficit, but they were, just in a shootout the entire game. If Cam Ward is not on this team, what is their record?
Bad. Bad. They're 7-0 without him. Maybe 2 wins, right?
Yeah, it's I think that's concerning.
I mean, the big thing is I don't know. I don't know if you have the AP poll pulled up. Like, what are they now? Are they in the top 5?
I think they're 6.
Okay, well, they're like alongside Penn State with me. It's like this team's not legitimate. Like they play a team like Texas or Georgia, they're gonna get smoked.
Yeah, they're 6. Yeah, that's
40 to Cal. They're giving up 45 to Louisville. Like it's just not the foundation to win against good teams.
That's what I was getting to. Is like, yeah, obviously you want to have a star quarterback. It helps your team, obviously, when you have the guy who's probably been the best quarterback in the country so far. But if the team around him is this bad, I mean, eventually, like you just said, it's going to catch up. Like they're not going to be able to beat these elite teams just off of Cam Ward playing, crazy well, which he's going to have to do for them to have any chance at all against those big time teams.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Louisville's a solid team.
Yeah, they're good. I probably discredited them a little bit. But like, I was speaking more of Cal's. Cal's not a good football team.
Yeah.
Like you should not seeing yourself down 21 going into the 4th against that team.
Good news for Miami, though, here. I think we said it last week. This was their toughest game remaining on the schedule. Next toughest is, I don't even know who you would say, either at Georgia Tech or Duke at home, which both of those games are games that you 100% expect Miami to win. So it's all signs are pointing towards they're going to go 12-0. They're going to make the ACC championship game. They're going to get into the playoff. and then we're going to see what happens when they have to play some real top dogs. Maybe they'll play Clemson in the ACC championship game. That'll be their first test. Clemson just won 48-31 to Virginia this week. Going through some of these other games, we had LSU winning again, 34-10 against Arkansas, which, good win. Arkansas obviously just beat Tennessee a few weeks back, so give credit where credit's due. Still don't trust them, but you're winning football games. I guess we can't discredit you for that.
It's probably our one take that's really just slapping us in the face right now.
It hasn't looked good, but I'm still not going to completely give up on it.
I agree with you.
Play a legit team. There's a good chance they lose. Coming up, they have to go on the road, Texas A&M, then they have Alabama at home. Then they also play Vanderbilt, I guess. Obviously, Vanderbilt can beat anybody in the country. So these next 2 weeks are going to say a lot about LSU. If they come out with 2 wins, maybe they are actually one of the best teams in the country. There's also a very good chance they come out with 2 losses here, and we all realize that, they were up for it the whole time. So going to learn a lot about LSU. Coming up, Iowa State escaped. They had a home game against UCF, won 38-35. It was just kind of back and forth the whole game, but they were able to get it done in the end. Rocco Becht, however you say his name.
It's Becht.
Iowa State's quarterback. Probably his worst game of the season, and they were still able to get out of there with a win. So, again, obviously you never want to see your quarterback play bad. You never want to have a close game like against a team like UCF, but I think it is encouraging in certain situations where you can still find a way to get it done, even when you're, one of your best players isn't having their best day. Notre Dame won 31-13 on the road against Georgia Tech. Again, proving that Georgia Tech was always a little overrated from the beginning.
Yep.
Texas A&M won again. Maybe a little closer than they would have liked. Mississippi State,
Mississippi State sucks, but you're right.
Texas A&M, though, on the road, another SEC win. K-State took care of business, 45-18. They just continue to look like that BYU game was just a complete fluke.
I think it was. But again, though, I don't know, though, because BYU still hasn't lost a game. But I don't know if you saw ahead, like BYU's underdogs this week, which is just mind-blowing to me, to UCF, which I get, they played Iowa State tough, but Iowa State did not play well.
Yeah. But Kansas State, again, back to that, encouraging, again, to just see them just dominate, really, from start to finish in this game against the West Virginia team, who every week we're kind of like, should be a solid team. But at the same time, we don't really know. Colin, you got to hit Enter Studio. I don't know how did that get out of there? And then hit Add Stage. There we go. Okay, I don't know if anybody's hearing for the last couple minutes. Apparently, I just got kicked out of the stream. Not sure what happened there. I was trying to direct Colin on how to get me back in there. We got to figure it out. To recap, Kansas State looked very good. I don't know how long I've been out of the stream, but there we go. Would have been nice. Next time, if somebody in the comments could let us know that there's no picture, would be great. Would appreciate it. But anyways, let's get back to business. Kind of a weird setup here when we're at my house. My computer is the one that's connected to the camera. It's not like actually in my lap. It's just down off to the side. So if we have some accident like that happen, we actually have no idea that it happens. So unfortunate. But anyways, let's move forward. Missouri won. They beat Auburn, who's also bad, 21-17. Like we mentioned, the concern there, though, is Brady Cook got injured. Now they're 100% sure he's going to play next week against Bama.
He finished the whole game, which is what confuses me about that.
Report that he might not play, so I don't know what that's about. Unless I saw a bad report, but I just saw that on Twitter the other day. So maybe that's fine. I don't know. We'll see. SMU stomped Stanford. They're still very much a real factor in the ACC. They won 40-10 on the road. Stanford, who has actually played some teams tough this year, here and there. So good winning from SMU. Army won again against East Carolina, 45-28.
Shout out the troops.
Shout out to the troops, and then also shout out Navy, 51-17 over Charlotte. They both stand undefeated.
If you let a service school put up 50 on you, you got to have some reflection. I don't care how good Navy Army is. I mean,
Navy's got a legit quarterback this year.
So I know they put a 51, Army put up 25. It's just it's wild to see these service schools having these offenses.
Service schools might just be back. Never know. They might just be legit now.
Were they ever there?
Everywhere.
Well, you said they're back.
Well, yeah,
to be back, you have to be there.
Yeah, like the 1920s.
Were they?
They were definitely good, like back in the day.
I really didn't tune in those years.
Oh, I was watching every weekend. But no, yeah, they used to be good. I think that's what Colin was saying over there too.
Yeah, IA people, like 40s and 50s.
Yeah, long time ago.
Okay.
All right. That kind of wraps up most of the top 25 games. We left 2 games for last. 2 unfortunate games.
We can skip them.
No, I'm going to mention it. I mean, we can skip Michigan if you want, but I'm going to.
I could just. It's a quick hitter. It's just bad offense. They lost 21-7. It's pretty simple as that. Like, I think a high school offense might be more competitive.
Could be true.
I was going to say a word I'm not allowed
they're
to
just
say.
they're not very good.
No.
Unfortunately.
Jack Tuttle is not the savior.
Yeah, might have been the savior, but he's not. So
also the game plan of Illinois, who's not a great run stopping defense. We don't have a quarterback. Let's air it out 32 times. Like, Shram Moore, what are we
could
doing?
be the move. Could be Clyde was there. Do you have any comments?
He was there.
The game was really fucking fun. I bet on Illinois, sorry. But
it's actually illegal in the state of Illinois.
Book.
Even more illegal.
Yep. But it was the Illinois had it kind of from the get-go. It was the Red Grange night.
Yeah,
that's the name. So I mean,
about 97 times.
I mean, the historic win over Michigan, whatever, 100 years ago. It kind of wrote that where it's gonna they're gonna win.
Yeah,
but it was really good atmosphere. Michigan had us pretty scared.
So there's no such thing as a good atmosphere at Champaign, Illinois. By the way, that's not. That's not
for there being half a stadium what we have. Student section was rocking, man. It was actually a fairly enjoyable game. Yeah, for being different than Memorial, it was good. Their Memorial's okay. Yeah, it was good.
All right,
good game. Yeah, rush the field.
Yeah, that's getting a little bit obnoxious. That just has to be a national championship thing, right? Like,
wasn't Illinois favored?
Yes.
They were favored.
No, they're not. Michigan was favored by 5.
Oh, okay. Well, they were ranked higher.
Illinois was ranked higher.
Yeah, they were ranked higher. So it's like, why are you rushing?
That has to be just like, which there's gonna be a lot of field rushes. If is it just that we took down the reigning national champions?
They haven't beaten.
I don't know.
Like, hey, breaking news to the college football world: reigning national champions are really bad at football.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't think they
don't go on the field, please.
They haven't beat a ranked Michigan though since the 90s. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is like that's why you have to rush the field though. 90s.
When was the last time they made a Final Four? So I
Darren Williams.
Yeah, 05.
Should have won the whole thing, man. Fuck North Carolina.
No, I just hate Illinois. I hate what they stand for.
Fighting a lot of.
Yeah.
All right, let's move past Illinois. Kelly's opinion is relevant, so just kidding. Let's go to the throttling that happened in Bloomington. Embarrassing game for Nebraska on a lot of fronts. They lose 56-7 to Illinois, which is also in their first year with a new head coach. Very different team. Obviously, the worst game Nebraska's played all season. Raiola threw 3 picks. I will say in that regard, a lot of those were just like he was just trying to make something happen in a game where nothing was happening for Nebraska. Again, bad loss. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I will try and spin zone a little bit, though.
Okay, time out.
No, I'm going to.
How do you spin zone a 56-7 loss?
Fucking coach's fault, man.
Okay, here's my spin zone. Not in terms of like
I can spin zone the Michigan game saying they just need to run the ball more.
No, not in terms of like they could have actually won the game. But I will say this.
Okay.
Open up the second half. Nebraska got the ball. They were down 20-7. They moved the ball right down the field without any problem. They get to a 4th down. Every other team in college football probably kicks a field goal there. Unfortunately, Nebraska doesn't have any of those. Like a guy who can kick it through the uprights. So they go for a 4th down. Raiola throws a pick. They return it back down the field. Indiana scores again. And from that point, the route's on. I think it's a little bit different. It doesn't look quite as bad, at least in the box score. I don't think it ends up anywhere close to 56-7 if it's 28-10 and you just kick it back off to Indiana. Listen, the game was really bad, but I think that it did get a little bit worse than it really could have been. Also, to all the Nebraska fans out there, want to address this a little bit. Shut the fuck up about like the whole Rhule's not the guy and the sky is falling. It's year 2. We are 5-2. We won 5 games last year, the entire year. The years before that, we never won more than 4 games for God knows how many years. I don't remember the last time we were bowl eligible at this point.
19.
Let's just relax a little bit. I think it was 18, but
I think it was 19
18 or 19, one of the two.
16.
It was 18 it was 18 or 19. But let's just relax a little bit, pump the brakes. If you're pointing to Indiana saying, "Oh, they're in year 1, why can't we do that?" Rhule's been very upfront about the fact that he wants to build a program. He wants to build it his way. Signetti brought in like 25 or 30 transfers. Like, yeah, of course you're going to be a little bit better if you bring in a bunch of guys that have already been playing Division I college football for 2 or 3 years. Things are going to get going a little bit faster. I get that it's a disappointing loss, but that's my biggest gripe with this game. Bad loss. Let's move past it. But the Nebraska fans who are out there like calling for like rules job and stuff like that, utterly ridiculous. Like we will never, ever, ever be to any point of relevancy if you think that a coach should be fired at this point. So that's my little Nebraska rant. So
No, I agree. I didn't see that dialogue going on social media. So
yeah, no, it wasn't even so much people like straight up saying like fire him. It was more just like the fact that people even like bring up the discussion.
is
like,
it like the
like,
hot take? Like should we
talk about rule? Like no, we shouldn't. Like that's the stupidest thing I've heard in a while. There's no reason at all to be even thinking about talking about rule. Like just pump the brakes a little bit. Yeah, probably gonna get pulled by Ohio State.
Yeah, looking in the future, I was gonna bring that up. It's like really tough to go then to Columbus. Like this would have been a perfect spot to like play Northwestern, where you can just like get like a nice one, you know.
Also, I
build
I
around that a little bit.
Before I forget, Kelly showed the Satterfield picture. I will say that's the one line of discourse that I'm okay with at this point. Satterfield, I think you can actually make an argument he could be fired. Offense has been bad. Play calling has been very questionable at times. He's very highly paid, and he produces no results. Also, the press conference moment this week where he was like we need to get to 4 to 6 yards of play. 4 yards of play would be like the worst offense in the country. So if you don't even know that, a little bit of trouble. Yeah, don't like that a lot. So yeah, not great. But yeah, they go to Columbus now this coming week. Not great. Like you said, you like a bounce back game, but
for Ohio State.
I mean, I hope we just look competitive. Like,
I don't think it's a trap game. Who do they play next? Ohio State play next after
Penn State.
They play okay. I don't think so though, because they just came off a loss and we're on bye. This is Ohio State's get right game.
Yeah. No, I want listen, Nebraska's probably gonna lose by at least 20 plus this week. But if they can just at least put a somewhat like good product on the field for a majority of the game, like that's all I ask for. I don't care really what the score says.
Probably win if you keep it within 20.
As long as the game, yeah. Oh, 100% it's win. Keep it within 20. As long as the product on the field just looks much better than it did against Indiana. Like if your product on the field looks better against Ohio State than it did against Indiana, that's obviously a win because Ohio State's still a better team than Indiana. Also, we talked a lot about Nebraska there. I do want to backtrack here one more second again. Let's give a little bit of props to Indiana. I mean, we did say they played nobody. Can maybe still say that based on how Nebraska played in this game, but that offense is really good.
Yeah, but they're also in a tough position. We totally forgot to mention. I always forget how Rourke. He got hurt. He had surgery on his hand, like his entire nail ripped off. So they already said he's missing the next 2. I don't know what the next 2 games are on their schedule. I know he'll be back for Michigan. Just a little slap in the face.
Trying to get to them. They have Washington and Michigan State. So Washington's could be a tough game at home. Michigan State on the road. I don't know.
I mean, not terribly worrisome, but I also would not be surprised, no starting quarterback. They drop one of those 2.
Yeah, but if they don't, then there's a very, very good chance that they go that they finish the season 11-1 with their only loss being to Ohio State. So they're in a good spot. All right, get that out of the way. That being said, let's take a quick look now at the new AP poll, and then after that we'll get to our first commercial of the night. But here we go with the new poll. So as you can see there, Vanderbilt's in there at 25, Navy's at 24, Army at 23. So those guys didn't really move, but Vanderbilt did appear in the poll for the first time this season. SMU at 22, Missouri is still at 21, Illinois is at 20. They moved up just a couple spots after the Michigan win. Pittsburgh still at 19. I believe that's what they were last week. Ole Miss is at 18, Boise State's at 17, and Kansas State is at 16. So not a whole lot of movement around here. Again, Missouri, SMU just dropped a couple spots just due to other teams moving up. Other than that, I don't think there's really anything.
We'll talk about it later, but Pitt will move up. They throttled Syracuse, a pretty solid Syracuse, and we'll talk more about the stats of that game. And then besides that, I mean, yeah, I don't hate anything here.
Okay. 6 through 15. Alabama dropping all the way down to 15 now. They dropped 8 spots, so a couple of big slides so far already for Alabama this year. 14 is going to be Texas A&M. They stay put. 13 and then Indiana. They move up 3 spots after that throttling of Nebraska. Notre Dame stays put at 12. BYU is up 2 spots to 11 after their narrow victory. And then Iowa State drops 1 spot to 10. Again, they won a close game, and then also just kind of some random reshuffling there. So again, most of these teams have stayed put pretty well for the most part. I didn't even finish. Sorry. 9's Clemson, 8 LSU, 7 Tennessee, and 6 is Miami. Tennessee went up 4 spots after the Alabama win. So
yeah, I don't hate anything here. Like you said, though, we both would agree LSU's probably not going to finish top 10. I don't think they're a top 10 team in the country, but then again, that's where they slide in right now. So
finally, top 5. Some of these teams actually just stayed put, but we had the Texas slide down 4 spots from number 1 to number 5. Ohio State stays put at 4. Penn State stays put at 3. Georgia jumped up 3 spots for beating Texas to number 2. And then Oregon, by just basically Texas losing, moves up the spots. They are now the number 1 team in the country. Do we know when the last time Oregon was ranked number 1? Were they probably that year Mariota was there?
I would have to assume so, yeah.
Got to 1 at some point? Because it wasn't that year. I couldn't tell you when the last time they were.
No, because they were 1 in the college football playoff that year, right?
I thought they were the 2 seed in the playoff.
Were they? Yeah, wait, yeah. They had to have been because Ohio State won it all and they were the 4.
Mhm.
Yeah.
2012 was the last time they were number 1. Good job, producer Colin.
Yeah, there's one huge problem here, and it's just because they haven't lost yet. It's the biggest bullshit on planet Earth. If people trying to tell me that Penn State's a better team than Ohio State,
yeah,
that is fucking ridiculous.
Well, we're gonna find out here shortly, because they do have their game coming up in a couple weeks. Also, I guess I'll just wait on this. We're gonna actually just go to break here, but I do agree Penn State not better than Ohio State. But we'll go to break. We'll come back in a minute here, and then we're gonna talk about this upcoming week in college football. I do think there's a chance that Penn State gets upset this week and will drop before they even play Ohio State. So let's go to break. We'll come back. We'll preview the big matchups here in week 9 for college football. We'll move through it fairly quickly, and then we'll get to NFL. But you're watching Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs. We'll be right back.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12 plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College Football Dogs, for the fans.
Alrighty, we are back here at Rock Hard Ball. Again, getting into the Week 9 college football preview. Taking a look at some of the major games. Move forward. We'll get through this fairly quickly, but we just want to take a look at the big ones. First, we will mention, like we said, Pittsburgh just stomped Syracuse tonight. Final score 41-13. Believe it or not, Pittsburgh had 2 offensive touchdowns. They scored 41 points. Why did that happen? Well, shout out to Kyle McCord. He threw 5 interceptions total, and 3 of those went for touchdowns to Pittsburgh.
Hear me?
So, yeah, pretty poor showing. McCord, that guy we actually been given some pretty decent props to for most of the year.
Yeah, I mean, he had Syracuse 5-1, and he was playing well.
Yeah, and then I don't know what happened. Did he just forget how to play football? Was he seeing ghosts?
I think Pittsburgh just might be actually pretty damn good, like a sneaky contender in that. Not even sneaky contender; they're 7-0.
Yeah, they're a real team. And like you said, they'll definitely move up. They just beat a Syracuse team that, like we just said, had some respect going, and just wasn't even close. And yeah, just a really, really bad game from McCord. One of the worst games I think seen in a long time. What is that? Does he have a
bag of chips?
Oh, okay. Kyle McCord has a bag of chips, I guess. He might be begging for some bags of chips here soon if he keeps playing like this. So Friday, we actually have a huge game Friday night in the late slot. Boise State and UNLV. Both of them 2-0 in the Mountain West. Both of them with just the one loss in the year. Boise State, obviously, with that loss to Oregon. UNLV's loss did look really good up until tonight. They lost to Syracuse by 3, and that's really lost. So it's still not horrible. I mean, you lose to a Power 4 opponent who still is 5-2, and I still think Syracuse is okay. Common Core just played awful tonight.
Yeah.
But I mean, the winner of this game has full control of the Group of 5 playoff spot, I think.
Yep.
So big game for both of them. Boise State's to be favored by 3.5 on the road. I'd like to think that they should win this game. They have the best player in the country on their team, so should win. I would expect them to win, but you never know. UNLV has been, a very good team this year as well. So
yeah, no, I agree. I do think Boise State's able to pull it out. I mean, it's the Ginty effect.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. I'm trying to order pizza right now with my roommate Jackson Mays. He just commented on the stream, sausage and pepperoni. That sounds good. Sausage and pepperoni, I will do. So that was a creative way to ask me. Appreciate that. Donnie Deal says that Syracuse is stinky.
Yeah, they are stinky.
Yeah, a little stinky, a little bit of stench. Maybe a little bit of poo-poo this week, but maybe they can get their pants cleaned up in the future. We'll see.
Do we just want to hit on Nebraska right away?
Yeah, no, we already kind of did. Yeah. But again, I will just say, I just want to see them come out and just play like decent football. Like, you're going to be outmatched in this game with talent, but just as long as you're like just not, don't roll over and die. Basically, right. That's been the problem for Nebraska in past years, is there's just no winning culture there.
What are the keys to that? If you had to, like, what do you think Nebraska's like 3 keys are to, a 14-point loss where you go home kind of happy?
If you want to, I mean, even 14 seems like a little bit of a stretch, but like for that to happen, like Raiola has to play a very good game. He has to play clean, take care of the ball. The line has to keep him clean. Like, obviously Ohio State has a very good defensive line. Couple of dogs on that line. Who's the one guy?
JTT.
Yeah.
Most overrated edge rusher for the past 5 years.
He's still good.
I would like to see his stats minus Penn State. He becomes Jesus whenever they play Penn State. That might be God, continuously punishing them for what they did to those little kids.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, Sawyer's good. It's a good D-line, but I think it's a little bit overhyped.
Either way, I like to see the D-line or the O-line play well.
Also, medium or large pizza?
Oh, let's go large. Yeah.
Big boys got to eat.
Yeah, big boys got to eat. Anyways, also, the biggest thing here is the defense. They got embarrassed last week by Indiana. That was the bigger issue. I didn't even really mention that in the Indiana game. Was like, again, for kind of the spin zone really factor of it. The offense actually moved the ball pretty well for a lot of the game. Just turnovers in bad spots and couldn't score touchdowns. The defense, though, just got annihilated all game long. You're playing a very good Ohio State offense this week. We need to figure that out and get it going there. Defense needs to play a lot better. And I don't know what that's going to take necessarily. They were top 2 defense in the country before the game against Indiana. But we'll see. Donnie Deals says Nebraska has 0 turnovers. They are fine. Which, again, I think if they don't turn the ball over, I think they'll be in the game a little bit. Jerry Hansen says that Nebraska will lose, but somehow lose it close. 1-score game and will hurt the soul deeply. Again, wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. Donnie Deals also got in on the pizza action. He said large. And then he said, I was offended by the Weezy. He's going to have his large, and you're going to deal with it. Yeah, right. I wasn't offended. I'm well.
Well, no, it's
very
just
comfortable saying that I'm a large pizza kind of guy.
And it's
Jack's my counterpart.
It's 2 large
also,
pizza kind of guys.
Also the large pizza kind of guy. So
it's a room where you ask, do you want a large or 2 mediums?
Yeah, exactly. That would have been a better question, large or 2 mediums. But anyway, let's move past the pizza situation. But yeah, no, I hope Nebraska keeps close. Honestly, I wouldn't even say it would be that heartbreaking if they were somehow in the game late and lost. I would still be just very, very happy with that after a loss like that. Yeah, obviously it would be cloud 9 if they
go to Columbus and win.
The 1 in 1 million shots Nebraska goes into Columbus and wins after losing to Indiana by 50. But I'm not even going to entertain that thought. Let's just move forward. Big game this weekend. One that we didn't expect to really be big. Notre Dame and Navy, a ranked matchup for the first time in who the hell knows how long. They play every year, and I mean, I don't know how fast you look up. Clyde, can you want to try and look that up? Last time that Notre Dame and Navy were both ranked when they played each other. But very, very big game here. Notre Dame's still going to be favored by 14. So obviously Vegas still thinks that Navy is not quite at that point where they're a legitimate, team that can compete with the big dogs. Probably have to agree there. I think that there's probably a pretty good chance that Notre Dame wins this game pretty big. But you
I
never
don't
know.
think so.
Maybe-
It's at
maybe they
Navy.
make
It's
that
not at Notre Dame. I think Navy can, stick around with this team. Again, Notre Dame has taken care of business. They've looked better. Riley Leonard still has not shown me much,
he's
through,
been
through the air. He's a very good runner. That's it. If Navy can connect on like a few trick plays, which I believe Navy has up their sleeves, I think they can keep this close.
Yeah, no, I agree. I will say really something that was kind of funny. I was listening to The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
With Colin. Joy with the news.
Yeah, Joey's not there anymore. It's Jason McIntyre now.
Oh, I did know that.
That's the
Yeah.
news. Yeah, I don't know where she went. I think she has like her own show now. Anyways, so they were talking about like quarterbacks and like where they'd be drafted this year. And so for those who don't ever listen to The Herd, Colin is just known for just purposely having like outlandish takes. Sometimes they're okay, but he said that he thinks that Shadur Sanders is the only quarterback worthy of going in the first round in the upcoming NFL draft. Thinks that Ewers and Beck should both be third round picks. And then McIntyre threw out Riley Leonard. I think he meant it kind of as a joke. I don't know if Colin's watched Notre Dame all year because he's like, no, he's very good. Like he should probably be like second or third guy off the board. I think he was being serious, so that was kind of wild. I was like, ooh, not a good look. I didn't see anybody call him out on social media about it, but I was just listening to it like in my car on my drive back from North Dakota, and I was like, that is a little bit odd. I don't think that Colin was joking when he said it. I think he was kind of caught off guard. He's like, oh yeah, like he's been good.
Yeah, he probably just remembers him at Duke, pulling out big wins.
Yeah.
No, he is definitely he's not going to be a top 5 quarterback off the board.
No, he'll be lucky if he's a day.
He might be lucky to get drafted.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
He might be lucky to be day 3. Let's see. Donnie Deal says -13 on the road. It's a trap. Take the Irish. So kind of going against the grain there, Weez.
No, I get it. It's a tricky game. I just won't bet.
Yeah.
Scares me. I definitely see where he's coming from. It's a huge spread to be on the road against a Navy team that looks really, really good.
Okay, let's move forward here. Indiana's, like we mentioned, is going to play Washington at home. They're going to be 6.5 point favorites, even without Rourke. Feels like Washington is a team that's good enough to maybe make that game interesting. We'll see, though.
I could be so off. Is Rodgers playing? I thought he got banged up too.
Ooh, I don't know. I remember. I haven't really paid attention to Washington since that Michigan game. So
yeah, neither have I. I could have sworn there was some news. Clyde, can you look that up? If Will Rogers is fully healthy, because I don't know if he is, but we can keep talking while we go about that.
Also, did you ever figure out when that last ranked matchup was? I figured that.
It was fucking wild. I'm trying to find the rivalry, and it keeps giving me years. It was upset, but
Okay, but I mean, I guess it was a long time, so it might be hard to find. Anyways, Oklahoma's gonna go into Ole Miss. Ole Miss is gonna be favored by 20. Would like to think that Ole Miss takes care of business, but they've been very up and down all year, so who knows? Really.
Yeah. Do we know Oklahoma's going to roll out a quarterback? Is it going to be Jackson Arnold again?
But for that reason, I think that Ole Miss is an easy pick to at least win the game. I don't know. Who knows if they cover by 20? But Oklahoma's a mess right now. They might be dangerously close to Nebraska territory in terms of legendary program. Kind of falling off a cliff a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they might fire Venables this year. He has a massive buyout though, so who knows? That was the stupidest thing ever. I don't know if you really remember this from this offseason, but like when Oklahoma went to the SEC, they just gave Venables a raise because they're like, oh, like we need to keep him in line with the other SEC coaches. Why are you giving a guy a raise who hasn't proved anything?
Yeah.
Like there's no reason to do that.
No, it
Just
makes no
because
sense.
Like you don't have to do that. But whatever. Now his buyout's massive, so who knows? Illinois is going to go to Oregon. Oregon's a 22-point favorite. I think Illinois is a good team, but I don't think they're anywhere close.
Yeah, I think this is a big time mismatch.
I think that Oregon's going to beat them pretty bad. I think the 22-point spread is fair. Again, whenever a spread's this big between two ranked teams, I don't know if I would want to bet it because that's just a lot. But I just wouldn't be shocked at all if Oregon covered it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Like you said, BYU is going to UCF where they're underdogs. Not very often you see the number 11 team in the country undefeated going on the road to a 3-4 team, 1-3 in conference, and they are 2-point underdogs.
And we saw it a few weeks ago.
Huh?
We saw it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Michigan at Washington.
Yeah, it is weird, but I think you're right. I think BYU is a great play here. I think you take their money line. I think that they're just better than UCF.
Yeah, I agree. But then also, because me and the house, we're going to throw an abundance of money on that. Twitter speculating that because it opened up as BYU -3, I believe, and it's traveled all the way to UCF -2. Twitter speculating that there's an injury that just has not been announced yet. I don't know who it is. Or if there's coaching, drama, but stay alert on that. I don't think there's been any news though to release yet.
Yeah, because I guess I haven't looked, but like it's hard to believe that even if like BYU was favored to begin with, like it's hard to imagine that there was enough money just going down on UCF to move it that much. Like that seems ridiculous.
Exactly. And also this early. That's typically like a Saturday morning late thing.
Yeah. No, very, very weird dynamic there. Big game then at 2:30 on ABC, Missouri and Alabama. Two teams who have fallen greatly from the polls this year. Obviously, Alabama's been all the way as high as 1, has fallen to 15. Missouri, I think, got as high as 6 or 7.
I think they were 6 at their peak.
Fall to 21. So both of them have fallen 14 plus spots in the polls this year. Missouri obviously had that very bad loss to A&M, 41-10. Then had a couple other close ones that they were able to just pull out at the end. At Alabama, Alabama's going to be favored by 17.
I love it. Brady Cook or not, Mizzou is a bad football team.
I agree. I would love it even more. Again, if we've said a couple times already this year, it's easy to say when he's the greatest coach of all time. But like if Saban's here, it's like Alabama coming off their second loss this season, they might win by 60. Might be a little bit different with DeBoer. We'll see. But I think you're right. I think Alabama's still a way better team than Missouri. And I still think that Alabama is probably one of the top schools in the country. I think, like we just said, college football is just weird this year, and I think there's just going to be a lot of just losses that we don't expect.
Yeah, we've seen it all year. Yeah, I agree with that. Again, I think talent-wise, like Alabama's still incredibly talented. I think it takes time when a coach like Saban leaves to adjust. Again, I'm not going to give DeBoer any like credit for losing. The team's still loaded.
Yeah,
like, you have to take care of business, and not necessarily against teams like Tennessee. I get going to Heelan is like one of the toughest places to play, but like obviously the Vanderbilt loss. I think Bama wins this game by maybe 25-30, maybe even 40 plus if Cook does not go.
Yeah, I can get behind it. Other SEC game going on around the similar time slot, Texas at Vanderbilt. I kind of think a similar thing here happens with Texas coming off that loss, emotional game, stuff like that. They're favored by 18.5. It is on the road, but I think that, Vandy's maybe still riding a little bit too high. Like, don't get me wrong, they've been good. All the credit in the world for beating Alabama, but there's still just not nearly as much talent on this team as there is on Texas. Like, I can't trust a team that lost to Georgia State earlier this season to have any chance of competing with Texas. I might look like an idiot if Vanderbilt makes this game really close and maybe even pulls it out, but I think there's a really good chance that Texas comes out and wins by like 3 scores.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch this one. 18.5 is way too low for me. Texas looked like, the unannounced number 1 team in the country until last week. And now you're telling me like it's only an 18-point spread against Vanderbilt. I don't like it at all. I could see Vanderbilt making this a very close game.
Yeah. Chance, get on the comments, flipping me off. Chance, it's for you. Always good to see you in here. Thanks for tuning in. Donnie said that Texas Vandy goes over.
I do. That would be the play. 100%.
I think that would be also a good play.
51 is low.
51 is pretty low. I like that a lot. So Donnie's giving out some good picks for everybody tonight. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Miami's going to host Florida State. They're 21-point favorites.
Yeah, Florida State is awful.
Before the season started, what is the spread? Probably Florida State minus 3.5.
Yeah, maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah, how things have changed. Let's get to the game though. The next one I want to talk about: Penn State, Wisconsin. Penn State's gonna be favored by 6.5. They're going on the road to Camp Randall. Night game, tough place to play. Said it all year. Don't trust Penn State a lot. Wisconsin's 2 losses so far this year. Alabama, which just got outplayed. USC on the road, outplayed them for a lot of the game. Just couldn't really hold on at the end. Last 3 weeks though, 3 dominating wins. 2 of them were Purdue and Northwestern. Other one though on the road at Rutgers, who I still think is a solid team, 42-7. They looked a lot better. The offense is starting to roll a little bit. I think they found a little bit of an identity. Maybe my brother got me too mixed up talking about Wisconsin when I was on the phone with him the other day. But I think there's a real chance that Wisconsin can win this game this week.
No, I'm right with you. Penn State has looked awful these last 3-4 weeks. I would say since week 1 against West Virginia, which West Virginia has proven to not be that good of a team. No, I agree with you. Like 6.5, like I would hammer Wisconsin every single day of the week. Especially like you said, Camp Randall at night is in top 10 toughest places to play. I would say.
Yeah, the whole stadium's gonna be bouncing. It's gonna be a very exciting game. And I do think that the Wisconsin not only has a chance to cover the spread, but has a legitimate chance to win the game. So excited to see what happens there. Also, like we mentioned earlier, always a factor. Could be a look-ahead spot for Penn State. You have Ohio State coming into town next week. So I mean, that's always a factor as well. You don't want to overlook a team like Wisconsin, though. Other big game that's going to be on at night on ABC, 6:30. Number 8 LSU going to go on the road to 14 Texas A&M. I think Vegas, proves they're not maybe completely sold on LSU either. Texas A&M is going to be favored by 1, where you think number 18 in the country maybe be favored. I still don't trust Nussmeier, and just really Brian Kelly has a knack for not being able to win big games. So I like A&M here. I think they probably win the game, but I don't know. LSU is kind of made us into our words to a point this year by just continuing to win. We'll see what happens. Yes.
A&M at night. Give me A&M.
Yep. Kansas State's going to host Kansas. Rivalry game. Maybe this will be interesting. The game would have been a lot more exciting. Again,
Week 1.
Yeah. When we thought that Kansas was good. Now they're somehow 2-5. K-State's going to be favored by 10. I think they cover that. Then finally, SMU is going to go on the road to Duke, 11.5-point favorites. A little bit of a test for them, but obviously Vegas still thinks that they're the much better team. Duke is 6-1 though at this point, but they just haven't beat anybody. So yeah, like SMU there. All right, you want to talk Michigan? Do they?
Yeah, I guess I kind of have to, right? You can't back down. Despite a tough year,
rivalry week
against Michigan State, who somehow beat Iowa. Iowa looked good. They beat the shit out of Washington, so I don't really get that team either. I don't have it up on ESPN. That spread's still, I think, Michigan -5.
Yeah, 5.
I don't know why, especially after last week. All that being said, Michigan win.
All right. Let's
the game's in Ann Arbor, right? Yeah, because they beat them 49-0.
Yeah.
In Lansing last year. Night game, Ann Arbor. It is Michigan versus Michigan State. Give me the more talented team. Give me Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it before. Like maybe we're a little too hard on Michigan State, saying like they're the worst team in the conference coming into the year, but they're still not a good team by any means.
No.
So
the thing that is kind of making me question it is like the fact that they were able to beat Iowa last week.
Yeah, that's fair, but I still think that Michigan wins the game. So I don't think you're crazy there by any means. Let's take another quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll do NFL. Probably make NFL fairly quick here. Try not to make this show go too terribly long, but we'll go to another quick commercial. We'll talk about the big games last week from the NFL. Just run through them all really quick. Then we'll take a look at the matchups that we got coming up this week as well. Then of course we still got Rock Hard Takes coming up later and Kelly's Kinky Rankings. So stick with us. Listen to Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs. We'll be right back.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12-plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College Football Dogs, for the fans.
Alrighty, welcome back to Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs. We're getting into the NFL recap and preview now. We'll run through it fairly fast. We already talked about Broncos Saints last week, so we'll skip that Thursday night game. Getting into Sunday, though, we have the Toilet Bowl Sunday morning in London. Jags took care of business 32-16 over the Patriots. Doug Peterson saves his job for another week. I think he will be fired, though, very soon.
You see the stretch that they call it.
Packers, Eagles, Vikings, Lions, Texans before they finally hit the Titans. I mean, Doug Peterson has to be fired by the end of that stretch. But, enjoy it while you got it, Doug Peterson. I think it was the guy's apartment take. They're like, take as many snacks as you can from the facility while you still can. Enjoy it. But I think you're going to be gone pretty soon. But, again, hats off. Win a game. Also, Patriots, who gives a shit that you lost this game? Like, Drake May just continued to look good. I think we said it in our season previews. Patriots don't care how many games they win this year.
I mean, they don't want to win games.
Yeah, Drake May looks good, and and again, like they probably don't want to win games. Absolute win of a season. So, Seahawks beat the Falcons, 34-14. Bad kind of fall there for the Falcons. Good bounce back though from the Seahawks after losing 3 straight. Kind of get back on track there a little bit with a big win against the Falcons. I didn't really watch much of that game at all. Bills beat the Titans 34-10. Again, I just we have a whole lot to say there.
Tennessee's bad. They're in a bad spot. Will Levis is clearly not the guy.
They're in the number 1 overall sweepstakes.
Mark Cooper looked good, which we kind of knew that was going to happen, though. It's a great addition.
Yeah, for sure. I would really say it's you could probably even call it a game changer really for Buffalo because they just didn't have a receiver, and he immediately looks like he could be that. I mean, he didn't even know the routes. I'm sure everybody's seen that clip by now. Of is it Shakir? That's
Coleman.
Is Shakir the one? Is Shakir hurt?
Yeah, Shakir's hurt, I believe.
But yeah, so Keon Coleman then that was telling Cooper.
Also, shout out Keon Coleman. Finally, had a huge game, 4 catches, 125 yards.
It helps when you have another guy that
exactly
takes some pressure off of you, for sure. So yeah, Buffalo in a good spot now. Bengals beat the Browns 21-14. Got to talk about it. Deshaun Watson goes down, blows out his Achilles. Browns
fans cheered.
I don't care. There's one guy in the league that you can do that to, and it's him.
Yeah, I mean, and also I get Jameis Winston had an all-time clip. They were pissed off about. I get that, that's your teammate. From an outside perspective, he's not our teammate. He's just a rapist who plays football.
Yeah.
So.
Oops. No, I get the discourse of the Browns as his teammates, they kind of have to back him up. Whatever, I get it. The one that was mind-boggling though was the Myles Garrett quote, where he was like, "I can't believe they do this to a guy who's been." He is upstanding character for all through college and most of his NFL career. We're kind of skipping over a really big part in that whole very generalized statement with the whole most there, Myles Garrett. Don't think you can go with that. Yeah. Deshaun Watson, listen. I don't even know if I'm going to say I'm sorry. You don't really deserve to be playing football. You should be in prison. So.
Oh God, I mean. Feel bad for the trainers who are gonna have to work him through that injury.
Yeah. No, I saw the one meme on Twitter that was it was the super bad clip. It's the funny thing about my Achilles is it's on my cock. So, no, yeah, that's Deshaun Watson, sayonara. The biggest win out of all this is that we get Jameis. Jameis
because he was the emergency quarterback.
Yeah, no, he's starting.
DTR is not good.
DTR's hurts apparently. So I don't know if James would have started anyways. That was a really weird situation. It might have been one of those situations where they make DTR the backup in a situation where it's Deshaun wants to go down. Let's give him some experience. But in this situation, it's well, James is going to give us the best chance to actually win football games.
Yeah.
If we know he's going to be the starter, we'll go with him. So I don't know who would have started for sure. If DTR was fully healthy, but anyways, I'll also take a shout out to the Bengals, get another win. They needed it bad. So, moving forward, Packers beat the Texans 24-22. I guess I was supposed to say our teams for that end, but I'll just talk about it now. Another good game I thought from the Packers. The defense is nasty, and it's been really fun to watch this year. Been a complete overhaul from last year's team. They're really, really fun to watch. CJ Stroud had one of his worst, if not his worst, games as a pro. And I think a lot of that is, credited to the defense for just getting after him. Joe Mixon had a really good game for the Texans, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Love also, I think we've officially realized he is Brett Favre. He's just going to throw it wherever he wants to. And, a lot of the times it's going to be really cool and he's going to be really good. And once in a while, you're just going to be what the hell are you doing? But I'm living with it. I think if he ends up being Brett Favre, actually as good as Brett Favre, that's fine. If we get another top 10 quarterback, oh dang, throw some interceptions, don't care. Leads the league in touchdown passes, and he hasn't played 2 games, so that's pretty crazy. He also is second, I think, in interceptions without playing 2 games. But so we're getting both sides, But
no, yeah, he's the ultimate gunslinger.
Yeah, he did. I mean, it was kind of this happened last year a little bit too. He started out turned the ball over a lot. As the year went on, his decision making got better. He might just be one of those guys that kind of has to get comfortable each season. Especially, I mean, like I said too, he missed a couple of games. So
Yeah, you're right.
But yes, very very good win from the Packers. Great to see. Let's get back here to the rest of the slate though. Colts beat the Dolphins 16-10.
Dolphins stink.
Yeah,
I mean, perfect time.
Also still stinks. So
Yeah, he's awful. Finally though, Tua's coming back. Thank the Lord. You saw he's not wearing guarding cap.
yeah, interesting choice.
Seems
That's why I just
bold.
did the two fingers.
Okay.
Yeah, no, interesting choice. I get it looks dumb, but it's like your brain might explode.
We
if you
thought
do it
that this.
again,
We
so.
thought that this was the one.
Yeah,
like
we thought
one
he
more
meant
though. It's
season
like it has to be
ending.
done,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, you would think that he's like the number one guy in the league that should have like. He almost feels like one that the league should like require to wear one. Like
Just issue a statement. Like,
yeah, like
yeah. Hey,
you have to. Like, I mean, really, it actually wouldn't be that bad of an idea. Like if the league did say like once you have a certain amount of concussions, like you have to wear one, otherwise you just don't play.
And like yes,
Like, I get,
because
like,
obviously
that's-
like there's some.
I get that that's very
there
like,
are
no
obviously-
fun league and we hate that,
Yeah,
but
and I
in this situation, that's different.
also I think it's a little different, like because obviously some players will have 15 concussions, but they're like there are severity levels to
Yeah.
concussions.
Mhm.
If you go
His
spaz
is
fingers
all
3 to
bad.
4 times
Yeah.
in your career, you might have to wear 2 of them.
Yeah,
I don't care if you look like a bobblehead. We're gonna protect it.
Yeah, no, and especially looking how bad your team is without him. That's the last thing you want to happen is for him to go down again. So, Eagles beat the Giants 28-3. Saquon had a big game in his return to New York, East Rutherford. So, good win by the Eagles. I mean, the Giants aren't good. So, I mean, the Eagles didn't win this game. They've been concerning for sure. Jalen Hurts still looked questionable all year. Didn't
We'll
really
turn the ball over though.
Yeah, but even in this one, I was like, I get Saquon's running the ball well, but it's like you would have liked to maybe see him build some confidence against a bad Giants team. Didn't really happen.
He did have a beautiful dime on 4th and 3. That was great pass, but no, Giants suck. We knew that.
100%. Rams beat the Raiders 20-15. Thought they were maybe get cut back last week. Still didn't quite wait until this week, which ended up, I guess, working out for them. We'll talk about that here in a second. But they got the win last week. Commanders dominated the Panthers 40-7. Bigger concern there, though. Jaden Daniels got injured. Just a bruised rib. He is still has a possibility to play this week, but the initial signs are pointing towards he probably won't.
Which sucks. Obviously, they flex, Bears,
Yep.
Commanders for the quarterback matchup. I don't want to watch Marcus Mariota in America's Game of the Week.
No, Mariota played really well.
No, he did. Yeah. To be fair, it's Carolina.
Yeah, it's
They're
Carolina.
awful.
Yep. But no, I will say, I mean, like Washington, you've been through this before. Mobile quarterback who's having a hell of a rookie year and he gets hurt and you put him back out there too early and then things get really bad. Don't make the same mistake twice.
Yep.
This is a rib, a little different than the RG3 thing, but still, like, just take your time. You got a whole career with him left. You're 5-2. I think you never know, but Mariota could still, if he has a good game, be good enough to beat the Bears. The Bears have been good. Don't get me wrong.
The Commanders are, they're a very good team overall. But I think if Mariota plays, I like the Bears here.
No, I would think the Bears should win.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's not out of the realm of possibility for you to win.
Yeah, I don't think it's just like
It's not like
give
you're
the Bears
just
a free
locking
win.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I
So,
agree with that.
like, that's what
And
I'm
then
saying.
also, the
you
bigger
don't
thing
have to
here
throw.
is the Andy Dalton experiment. It's over. It lasted a week. It was
Yeah.
fun. He provided that plug so you guys can say you won a game. Why are we not playing Bryce Young?
I think they said he is playing next
He is
week.
playing?
Yeah.
Okay, thank the
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, that's why I thought you brought that up. I think they did say that. Bryce Young will start again next week. So, Chiefs beat the Niners 20-18. Brock Purdy, I think rumors are, or the speculations are finally confirmed. Not good if he doesn't have 4 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I also though think he's just trying to do way too much. Seeing him dance around like he does. It's like,
but still, like that's what he got in a car crash.
He got in a car crash with his family over the weekend. Yeah.
Okay, I did not
So
know
that's why
that.
they're benching him because he got in a car accident.
Oh, okay. Apparently, Andy Dalton got in a car accident. That's not good. That's really unfortunate. But I don't know how I didn't see
I
that,
never
but-
saw that.
Okay, weird. Thank you for letting us know,
Mhm.
Clyde. Anyways, back to Purdy though. No, my big issue is like I never thought that he's not awful. Like I know he's not that bad, but the Niners, I think we're getting ready to pay him like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And the fact of the matter is you if you're going to be paid like that, you have to at least still be competent in games like this, like where you don't have all the talent around you. again, like when we glaze Mahomes all the time, he still didn't really play that great in this one. But there's been multiple instances in the past where he has had, not the best supporting cast in the world around him. He still makes stuff happen, wins games. Josh Allen can make stuff happen, win games. Joe Burrow can make stuff happen, win games. Lamar Jackson makes stuff happen, win games. Purdy can't do that, and he'll never be able to do that. So I think this is actually good for the Niners to see, because they can actually go to him and be like, I'm sorry, we can't pay you like that, because for us to be successful, we have to have the playmakers around you, because you are not good enough to win without them.
Yeah, which obviously America knew before that team did. And then I kind of want to bring it up just because it happened a lot more towards the end of Brady's career, where like everybody, once he won the 7th, everybody's like, oh, he's the GOAT. Then everybody's like, okay, well, look at all of his defenses in New England. Look at the defense he had with that Bucs team that won the Super Bowl. Like, I feel like nobody's even discussing that with Mahomes. Mahomes is having a bad.
No, he's having the worst year of his career.
And they are 6-0, and it's been easy.
Yeah, no, the defense. This is the first time that his defense has been far and away better than the offense. Last year the defense was good for sure, but the offense was still, I think, the driving force behind that team. So, yeah, no, I think we're gonna have that argument for every single guy, because Mahomes is now just reaching the territory where he's gonna just continue to win every year. So like people just aren't gonna like him just for that sole reason. People hate Brady. Like they've hated Brady forever when he's in the league, because he wins. So
yeah,
no
I'm saying that. I'm saying we're not having those conversations though. It's like every single time you watch a Chiefs game, it just mentions, oh, he's still he's the best in the world. I'm not saying he's not the best in the world. He's certainly not playing like the best in the world, and it's still just 24/7 glaze, like the kids say, doing tricks on it.
Mm-hmm.
He's leading the league in interceptions. They're not playing good offensively. They're finding ways to win, and they're going to keep winning because they have the best defense in the league.
Yeah, and of course, the most concerning thing is, like you said, he is still the best in the league. If you're not an idiot, you have to assume and know that he will eventually get things figured out again this season.
It's week 8.
I mean,
it's week 8.
Are we really assuming that like he's going to be like one of the bottom half quarterbacks in the league?
I'm saying it's week 8. We had this discussion on last episode when we talked about how many interceptions he might throw. Might have been off camera. I don't fully remember.
No, I think it was on.
Okay. And then you guys were like, oh, he's not going. Well, here's another 2 interception game.
I know. I'm still not denying the fact that he's throwing too many interceptions and he has been bad this year. I'm just saying, as a logical person, I would have to assume that he eventually will clean.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I feel like you get that kind of.
I think
talk after week 3.
Second too, it's like they just added DeAndre Hopkins. That helps a lot.
Does it? Adding 35-year-old DeAndre Hopkins.
I think he's still a solid receiver.
He's going to help. I don't think it's not going to move.
He's still made some really good plays in Tennessee.
Yeah, he is, but it's not the same receiver.
He's
going to help. I don't think it's going to be like a huge, like, okay, now we're going to see that offense come back. I don't think that's the case here. Yeah,
no, I don't think it'll ever get to the point where they're like the top in the league, but I'm still just going to stand by the fact that I think the offense eventually will get to a point where it's not. I'm just saying it's not going to be like this all year. I think it will get noticeably better at some point.
All right, yeah, I disagree with that.
And Andy Reid is too good of a coach for it to not.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's week 7 or week 8.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're not scoring any points though. Like,
no, they're not. Yes, I'm saying that. I'm not talking about the offense. I'm particularly talking about Mahomes. Like, oh, he's going to stop turning the ball over. It's like, well, again, we're a good chunk into the season, and he does turn the ball over. He's been doing it every single game, and he's been doing it in chunks too. And I will also say some of them aren't him. A lot of batted, balls, but he's still, again, he's just throwing it wherever he needs to. And I could be a receiver problem, like you said before, D-Hop. If Juju Smith-Schuster's technically your one, yeah, that's not helping. But if he ends up winning MVP because they win 15 or 16 games, and he puts
no, I don't think he will win MVP, and I don't think he should. I think he finally did fall down on the odds a little bit.
Like you look up the current NFL MVP odds.
I think Lamar is now the favorite.
Okay,
but
which that would make
sense. Mahomes might be like 4th or 5th now, I thought. But anyways, Steelers. Wow, 37-15 win over the Jets on Sunday Night Football. Everybody was like, including us, what the hell were they doing starting Russell Wilson? Well, Mike Tomlin's smarter than all of us, I guess, because Russell Wilson played well. We'll see if he can keep it up. Well, we did say it last year. Okay, he's still second. I thought he dropped farther than that. I guess Mahomes still second. Anyways, Russell Wilson really didn't play that bad last year with the Broncos. And maybe this is kind of the push of the Steelers. Steelers could maybe get into the range where we start talking about them as like a borderline real contender. If Russell Wilson can play like this all year, The defense is good enough. Najee Harris apparently finally turned into the running back they always thought he was. This might be a legit team.
Yeah, they look good. The more pull away though from this is like the Jets just aren't good.
Yeah.
I
tell you what, if they had Randall Cobb, that might be the Randall Cobb, David Bakhtiari, maybe Clay Matthews, some old guys in there that could move the needle.
Yeah, like you said, they have the pieces. Rodgers is turning into Mahomes. It's just turnover fest for quarterbacks. It seems like it's throwing like, and this is something he's never done. Sorry, large pieces here.
Yeah, large pieces here. Big news.
But no, like, was Saleh like maybe a premature firing?
Well, probably, yeah. I mean, I think everybody knew that to begin with. It was like, oh, Rodgers just doesn't like him, so he's gone.
Yeah.
By the way, Saleh's hanging out with the Packers now. So
which we broke down.
Yeah,
I mean, he's the best man at his wedding.
Yeah, no, we knew that was coming, but big news still, I think. Anyways, Monday night, Ravens, big win over the Buccaneers, 41-31. Lamar played ridiculous. I hate him. I want to bomb his house. Sorry, that was too far. But I mean, in my fantasy game, like I had a 96% chance to win going to Monday Night Football, and he was basically the sole reason I lost. So really unfortunate for me on that front. Also, Derrick Henry, for some reason, just doesn't get old. We all thought he would. All thought he was washed. Nope, we were greatly wrong. He's on pace to break the rushing record. So
yeah, he's been playing on. The big takeaway though here is Tampa Bay in the matter of a quarter and a half.
Season ended.
Pretty much. Mike Evans somehow, I thought he tore the groin after that play. I think they said he's going to be good after their bye, which is like week 11. And then Godwin, his ankle almost fell off.
Yep.
So hip drop tackle, bad stuff. But again, bad spot for the Bucs now.
Yeah, no, they're in trouble. NFC South sucks again. Early on, we were like, oh, you know what? That division maybe had a little bit of a revitalization. You know, Falcons are there with Kirk Cousins. Bucks look good early. Nope, all back to poop. So,
yeah.
Finally, Cardinals and Chargers. Battle between two really good quarterbacks with shit ass teams.
Also, just fuck the NFL for putting this on ESPN Plus only.
Yeah, that's so weird. Well, I'm not a big fan of the double Monday night.
I hate it too, and like, I almost don't mind though if they are going to do a double one, put it on like ESPN.
Yeah,
like I hate seeing like the constant score bug of the other game when you're watching the one game. Get rid of the 2 Monday night games. Like it's just
like I get it. Like really early in the season when they have like so many games.
Just reminds, hey, it's football season.
Yeah, and then nobody has bye weeks and stuff. So like you're trying to make it so there's not so many games on Sunday. Why are we doing this now when we have team bye? Like it just doesn't make sense. So this wasn't necessary. Just not a great game anyways. So really weird. But Cardinals win. So all right. Let's go to this coming week. Again, we'll maybe try to move a little bit faster through these. Rams won tonight, 30-20. We'll spend a second though talking about this one. Vikings now dropped 2 in a row after starting 5-0. Oh shoot! Actually, sorry. Let's backtrack for a second. I completely skipped over like the biggest game last week. You want to just glaze a little bit?
I mean, I guess
feel free. I mean, they're the best team in the NFC. So
yeah, they look unbelievable. There were still some things that worry me. Again, we'll talk about tonight's game a little bit. Minnesota lost again, so I don't think Minnesota is all that good.
No,
I think they're good. They're a very good team though, in the terms of they're going to take care of business. Detroit though ends up winning. Also, that game, was very close. Came down to a game-ending field goal with Bates. Kind of gifted them the first touchdown. Dan Campbell, I love the balls. Let's not fake a punt on 4th and 9.
Yeah, sometimes they're a little bit too big.
No, especially the design. Like if that's going to be the play, I'd like to see Jack Fox just air it out. Done that before in 4th and long. It's not direct snap. Try to pick up 9 yards on the ground. Did not work at all. Gifted them a touchdown. Jefferson's still good. As a Lions fan, the big takeaway, Gibbs played great. The offense played great. Obviously, Jared Goff, we have to have some dialogue about him. I think it was the 3rd or 4th game where he had above like a 140 passer rating.
Yeah, no, he's 4th in the MVP odds. So
which the only other two to ever do that were Warner and who was the last?
It was Rodgers, and it was both a year on the MVP. Yeah.
So Goff's been just unbelievable. It was a little obvious despite the win, and I really hope this does not make Brad Holmes kind of stay put. No Hutchinson obviously was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Darnold is good with no pressure on him. They need edge rusher. I don't know. They're not going to get Max Crosby, so Detroit fans on Twitter, stop that. Raiders have already said we're not going to make the same mistake. You're going to have to trade basically 3 first. I'm pretty sure it's what the Raiders said.
Probably.
But there's guys like Darius Smith you can get for 6. Hassan Reddick, finally, he was the guy who I thought they'd maybe go up and get, but I think
He's playing with the Jets now.
Now. There's a bunch of guys who you can get, and again, I don't feel the need to send the house for Crosby. It would be great. I would imagine if they got Max Crosby, probably projecting maybe to like Super Bowl favorites, right?
Yeah, 100%. Well, they already got to be second in the odds now, don't they? Second or
I would
third.
bet third.
Chiefs and Ravens.
Chiefs and Ravens are first. I bet the Lions are the favorites in the NFC though.
Yeah.
But no, overall, it was a great game.
Dexter Lawrence is not an edge rusher.
You want it.
Well, yeah, everybody would want him, but once again, you're gonna have
Our
to
interior D line's great. McNeil and DJ Reader have been.
You could argue that he's defensive player of the year right now too.
No,
Dexter Lawrence. He's been ridiculous.
Well, Giants defensive line's great for Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah,
playing unbelievable football.
Yeah,
but
they should trade them for like a quarterback. That'd be cool.
How about
That a quarterback guy like throw to his team.
Them spending all that money on Brian Burns made no
Yeah,
sense.
that made no sense to begin with. Yeah, it's like you know what? We're just one piece away from like being a contender. No,
We're
you're not.
a lot of pieces
Yeah.
away. No,
Specifically a
I
quarterback.
just said my piece on that game. Though, do you have anything?
No, I think again, Lions are right now by any person's measure the best team in the NFC. Vikings, I still think are a solid team, but I think that we have now learned with 2 weeks in a row as we kind of transition here into the previews this week with Week 8, 2 losses in a row now. I think that we all knew that they weren't quite a real contender. I just they feel very like they're going to make the playoffs as a wild card. If they get like a high wild card, they can maybe win against an NFC South team on the road. But it's like I think it was on part of my take. They're like the Vikings are just gonna have a season where like they're gonna have one of their best seasons like in a long time, and they're gonna like be rolling and maybe win a playoff game, and then they're just gonna get pounded by like the Lions, the Packers, the playoffs.
When did we last see that? 2 years ago when they went 10-1 to start, and then immediately lost to the Giants at home.
Yeah,
it's like that's the Vikings. That's who they are. I think before that, before this week, obviously, because as we're talking, it's Thursday night. Vikings lost to the Rams. Everybody would say that the Bears were the bottom feeder. I think it's the Vikings because the difference with the Bears is the Bears still have a lot of question marks to me on offense. They've gotten going, but they again haven't played anybody. But year in and year out, that Chicago Bears defense is unbelievable, and I trust it a lot more than Minnesota's.
Yeah. The defense for Minnesota is definitely the most concerning thing. So let's just kind of briefly talk about Monday night. Rams win 30-20 over the Vikings. Stafford looked really, really good. Hit 280 yards, 4 touchdowns, did throw a pick. Kyron Williams had almost 100 yards on the ground. Big, though, factor obviously is Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, both back in the lineup. They combined for over 150 yards and a touchdown. Very good. Jefferson had another good game, but I mean, again, the Rams could just do whatever they wanted on offense for pretty much the entire game. So that's going to be a real problem going forward for the Vikings because I think it's basically with Brian Flores. I think his defense is so creative. Like that's all everybody can talk about these first few weeks. Problem with that sometimes is like when you're running so much stuff people haven't seen, after a few weeks, they've seen it.
Yeah.
And if that's like the only thing that can keep your defense being successful, like if you can't just win by, playing like just a normal base defense, then in the long run, you're probably just not going to win.
Well, and the biggest thing with this game too is like before that, all we heard all week was just the sudden like, oh, there's gonna be a fire sale for the Rams. Like,
yeah,
Cooper Kupp was gonna get traded. The Vikings were supposedly looking to trade for Stafford.
That was also weird as hell.
You just drafted a quarterback 10th overall.
Yeah,
like what would we do that for? Especially even if they did lose this game, look at that division.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad. Like you can drop this game, okay, but we still now get Puka and Cooper fully healthy. Like the whole week on Twitter made no sense to me. Where it's like we're either going to win this or we're going to sell everybody. Made no sense to me.
Yeah, well, they won, so we don't have to talk about it anymore. I'm sure they'll keep everybody there. Let's look at the slate now. I mean, we'll just lead off the Lions because they'll win this week and move on. They're playing the Titans at home.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I don't know, unless you want to talk about it more,
but no, the biggest thing is when you're this good playing a team that bad, my only keys is stay healthy.
Yep. Eagles and Bengals could be an interesting game. 2 teams that have a lot of question marks, it feels like, for a lot of people.
2 teams that just continue to play down to their opponents.
Yeah.
So do they play down here? It's going to be a disgusting game.
So it'll be 3-3 or 50-50.
Exactly.
Since he's favored 2.5.
Is it crazy to say he's kind of a must win for both teams?
I think so. A little bit, yeah. Eagles more of just in the fact where it's like Sirianni, I think, is kind of trying to keep his job a little bit right now.
And then the Bengals are just like, what do we make of them?
Yeah. Bengals, I feel like I'll give the Bengals more slack because like I feel like their roster just isn't nearly as good. And it's like Burrow's obviously still just like ridiculous. The Eagles, though, like on paper, have like you can make a real argument that they have like a top 2 or 3 roster in the NFL, and they are just constantly struggle to win games against teams that they shouldn't. So I don't really know what's going on there.
That game's in Cincy, right?
Yeah, I have no idea who I picked to win the game. Actually, I'm not even gonna make.
I would lean towards Cincy at home.
Yeah, so Vegas says so. Ravens are going to go on the road to the Browns. They're 8.5-point favorites. It's a very large spread for a road team in the NFL, but wouldn't be surprised if they cover it. I hope Jameis is fun. That would be,
and we could get some Jameis magic.
Hopefully, with some Jameis magic. That's best case scenario in this game, but otherwise, I think the Ravens roll them. Cardinals at Dolphins. Miami's favored by 4. So Tua is
playing.
Okay, yeah. So that makes a lot of sense then. Miami being favored by 4. But even still, I think that you could maybe see a sneaky Cardinals win here, just in the fact that it's Tua's first week back. Maybe he's a little rusty, getting things kind of back.
Maybe a little scared.
Maybe a little scared to get hit.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals won. But you never know. You could also see the Dolphins come out and score like 50 points and be like, we're back.
Yeah.
So, Jets, Patriots. Gross. Jets are favored by 7. If they win this game by like 50 points, like probably just sell the team. I don't know. Yeah. Falcons, Buccaneers takes the lead in the NFC South. Whoever wins this game has control. But
Falcons favored by 2.5. Got to hammer that, right?
Yeah. No, I'd have to assume they win with no wide receivers basically for the Bucs. I mean, it's what is it? Trey Palmer,
Kate On's, I'm assuming, going to get a bunch more targets.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. Packers play the Jags again. Similar situation, I guess, for the Lions and the Packers this week. Just playing 2 shit teams. And
what's that spread 4?
Oh, the Jaguars won against the Patriots last week. So,
okay.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not more than 4. Probably just because it's on the road. But yeah, no, I think the Packers should win the game. I'm not too worried about it. Colts and Texans. Texans favored by 5. Feel like that should be an easy cover at home.
It's Joe Flacco playing. No. Okay. Give me the Texans.
Yeah. Saints, Chargers. Chargers going to be favored by 7. Again, I like it. Saints have been just horrible since that first 2 games. Yeah. Chargers also looking for a win here, try and stay in the playoff picture. Herbert's been really good all year. Roster's just bad. So I think, though, that he is good enough in this situation against the Saints team to just win the game. Bills on the road at the Seahawks. Seahawks coming off a big win. Bills favored by 3. I like it. I don't think the Seahawks are very good still.
I don't too, but I think this is going to be a sneaky, like, really fun game. Yeah. I'm going to call shootout here.
A lot of points.
Yeah.
46.5 could be the over. The Panthers, Broncos. Broncos favored by 10. Feel like they absolutely had to win this game.
I will say, I don't know if you guys saw this. Bizarre. Thank God he's okay. See what happened to Josh Reynolds?
Yeah, he got shot in the back
of the head, and it's just okay.
Yeah, it's absurd.
So, prayers to him. Thank God he's all right.
Yeah, no, that was ridiculous. But I feel like in this game, as long as Bo Nix doesn't throw like 8 interceptions, the Broncos probably should win, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Chiefs at Raiders. Chiefs are favored by 9.5. Again, defense is just rolling. Feels like that they're just impossible to beat right now.
Are the Raiders rolling out Desmond Ridder?
I don't know. Whoever they put on the field at quarterback, I hope we don't have to watch their quarterback.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's exactly how it should
be. So, Bears and Commanders, could still be a really fun game. See the 2 leaders for the Rookie of the Year award, the 2 top picks. It'll be super fun. Jaden Daniels doesn't play. You have to assume that the Bears win. Yep. Vegas thinks he's not playing. The Bears are favored by 3. Jaden Daniels plays. I think I lean Commanders. They've been pretty good all year. And I know, Clyde, you're a Bears fan, but whether you like it or not, Jaden Daniels has been better than Caleb Williams this year. He's a legitimate MVP candidate. If he plays and he's healthy enough to play to his, his full ability, I think the Commanders win.
Yeah, I agree with that. Bears. Yeah.
So, finally, Sunday night, Cowboys, Niners, game between 2 very disappointing teams.
Yep.
Should have been a very exciting game coming into the season. 49ers going to be favored by 4.5. Do they get anybody back this week?
I don't think so.
So, I still don't even know.
Obviously, we didn't talk. Ayuk's done for the year. He tore his ACL.
Well, Debo was just sick last week, I think.
Yes.
So
and fat.
Yeah.
He's pulling a little James Harden. Yep. He's been eating good recently. This is almost like I don't. Again, I don't. I hate to keep saying like a must win. It's almost a must win for the Cowboys, though. Just like you just got pummeled by 40 to Detroit. They played with you. Like the whole nation saw you get made fun of.
Yeah.
You have a bye week. Like there has to be some improvement here.
Mm-hmm. Also, a really funny thing with the Cowboys, like this that apparently happened this week was like Troy Aikman was like criticizing them, like they need better. Like they look lazy, like the receivers routes, like they just look like they're going through the motion, stuff like that. Mike McCarthy comes out, and he's like, like it's my team, like I don't like all respect to Troy, but like that's his opinion is his opinion, but this we'll do what we do with our team, not really that worried about it. And Jerry Jones, of course, turns right around. Troy's a professional. He's a respectable guy. I respect his opinion. If he's he talks, you better listen. So, Mike McCarthy, you might as well just get the resume together.
You see Chris Christie called Dan Campbell classless.
No,
it was so.
Isn't Chris Christie just Mike McCarthy
in politics? Yeah,
yeah, they're the same person.
But the fact though that they kicked their ass so bad, politicians.
Yeah, yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I did not see that. That's funny though. And then finally, Giants Steelers Monday night. Steelers favored by 6. Feels like they should win that and cover pretty easily. Be interesting to see though if we can get another good game from Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move past NFL. We'll go to Rocky.
We should probably just hit on this first.
Oh yeah.
World Series starts tomorrow.
Oh yeah, shit. Probably not a bad thing to mention.
So Dodgers Yankees.
Yep.
Rob Manfred's wet dream. As much as it kind of
it's gonna be good baseball.
It's gonna be really fun baseball. It's the two best lineups in baseball. I think most of America wants this game because you don't have to be a baseball fan to watch it. While like only baseball fans would truly probably appreciate like a Tigers Mets World Series.
Yeah. No, like a guy like me, I don't pay a lot of attention. I actually will know like a good 5 or 6 guys in each lineup in this game in this series. So it's exciting in that factor.
So yeah, game 1 tomorrow. I believe it's gonna be Cole versus Flaherty in LA. So it's gonna be a fun series.
Yeah, no, that should be very good. Got a pick?
I'm gonna
Yankees.
I'm gonna go Dodgers in 6, solely for the reason of I just don't trust the Yankees bullpen as much as I trust the Dodgers. Like I think lineup wise, it's pretty similar.
The Dodgers have a better bullpen, but they're dog shit.
How does that make sense?
Dodgers good bullpen. Yankees all offense. I think if you go defense heavy against offense heavy, baseball, tie goes to the runner. I think the Yankees are gonna just
it's as simple as we'll just call spade a spade here. Both offenses are incredibly good.
Yeah.
I'd give starting pitching the edge to the Yankees. They do have better starters than the Dodgers. Flaherty's pitched good baseball, but again, he's gotten lit up a few times in the postseason.
Yeah.
Walker Buehler's not the same guy he was.
No, he's bad.
But then you turn to the Yankees bullpen, like a guy like Clay Holmes has been so bad that they demoted him from even the 8th inning. Yeah. Obviously, Luke Weaver's come on. He's America's sweetheart right now, I guess. Dodgers have just unlimited guys in the pen who have pitched really good baseball in the postseason. And I don't think starting pitching is going to be the difference. I think it's going to be who do you trust with, you have murderer's row for both lineups, right? Yeah. So it's 8th, 9th inning. Okay, we got Judge, Soto up. Okay, we got Betts and Shohei. It's like, okay, who do I trust to close out this game? And I trust the Dodgers bull.
I mean, I do really agree, but for past history, I mean, sometimes
do we know who's even favored to win it?
It's Yankees.
It is Yankees.
Yeah, I feel like through even intro to postseasons, Yankees, even now Yankees. I mean, I'm gonna stand by my list beginning of the year, not even have Yankees top 5 to win the World Series. I feel like America wants the Dodgers to beat the Yankees. Honestly, because everyone fucking hates the Yankees. Everyone hates them. I mean,
yeah, people hate the Dodgers. Yeah, people hate the Yankees more.
I personally, being an NL person, I want the Dodgers to lose, just due to the fact that rivalry. Cubs, I really dislike the Dodgers. But starter wise, I think that has a really big difference, just due to the fact that, I mean, now for postseason, Dodgers are
okay.
Wow. All right, well, everyone ride the Yankees.
I'm not gonna do that. I already gave my prediction. Dodgers in 6.
Okay.
Dodgers 4-2 is the
Wow.
highest or best odds.
Okay.
All right. Fuck me then.
Well, I mean, starters. Well, you're gonna pitch 5 innings and get straight relief just because baseball sucks now and you can't pitch 7 innings. But
That's not. No, it's
bad baseball. I really dislike how playoffs are. I mean,
it's what makes baseball great.
I know, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a relief game. It should be who's your guy that head
No,
of the
you
hell.
have to win 4 games.
I know.
But you're not going to stretch Garrett Cole deep if you don't have to.
Yeah, but even like that, I miss pitchers pitching 7, 8 innings, especially in the World Series. That shit is so fun. And then you have 4 fucking relief pitchers in the 8th inning, 8th and 9th, and just do some crazy rotation.
Yeah, that's how you have 9-hour baseball games.
Yeah,
that nobody enjoys.
Yeah, but that's fun though.
No,
that's
it's
fun.
not.
It's edge of the seat baseball where it's it's a close game. Who the fuck is pitching right now? It's some rookie from Island. From some island. It's awesome, dude.
All right, we're gonna have to wrap it up. From Island.
Mike.
Rhode Island, dude. From Rhode Island.
Enough Kelly Mike time.
All right.
Until we get to the rankings. Speaking of, I guess we will mention too. We kind of said at the beginning of the show, but NBA season started. So I kicked off. Already got the great photo op of Bronny and Braun checking in the game. So that's done with. Now I'm sure Bronny wants to court for again the rest of the season. I guess let's just make calls now. Who's winning the
Boston again.
Boston.
My hot take again. Call me crazy. It's why it's called a fucking hot take. I think Boston has a legitimate chance, depending on how they do rest bullshit. Because also kind of want to hit on Philadelphia. We will after this real quick. I think Boston has a chance to genuinely compete for the Warriors 73-9 record. Their first 2 games, they look unbeatable. They have a complete roster. They have just 10 really great guys.
Yeah. I don't want to also go Boston.
You should go Boston.
That would be the smart thing to do.
It's gonna be Celtics.
Yeah. Give me the Mavs.
All right. Clay did look good tonight in his debut.
They look good. So
and then you got to talk about Philly. Did you see the Philly shit?
About how they're just hurt, both of them?
They're not hurt. Joel Embiid's just sitting out the first 3 because of rest management. I'm not fucking. They're managing after the first 3 games.
That's crazy.
Dude, you haven't played a game since. All right, I'll give you the fucking Olympics 2 months ago. They're load managing him the first 3 games. NBA immediately opens an investigation.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So they're currently being investigated for it. He already said he's Joel Embiid is.
Said he'll never play a back-to-back again.
Never gonna play another back-to-back in his career. Fuck that guy. He's unbearable.
Yeah, that's crazy. Also, earlier when you were talking about Garrett Cole, you said not going to stretch Garrett Cole deep. Jerry Hansen said pause, brother. So, little zesty there.
I said that?
Yeah, you said not going to stretch Garrett Cole deep. So, I can see a little pause there.
No, for sure. Pause. I didn't even realize those. What was the context that I released those words in?
It was when you guys were talking about pitching. Yeah. So, anyways. NBA season back in action. We'll do some NBA talk as the season goes on. Today's episode, though, has just gotten too long, so we're not going to get too deep into it. That being said, let's move into Rock Hard Takes.
Bone up, folks. It's time for Rock Hard Takes.
Alrighty, Rock Hard Takes today is going to be best stadiums in sports.
Stadiums, arenas, pitches.
Stadiums, arenas. It doesn't matter. Anything that a sport is played on is eligible to be picked. We just had first pick today. Last one we did was beers, so I had the first pick there. So, Weez, you are on the clock.
All right, I'm going to start off with Wrigley Field.
Okay, yeah, good pick off rip.
It's a different place to watch a baseball game. It's my favorite place to go to. It's as good as it is advertised.
Okay. First one I'm going to go with is don't give a shit. Going to be biased. Lambeau Field.
Homer.
Yep, Homer pick for sure. But also, I mean, I think most people agree it's it's very, very well known for being one of the most historic stadiums. In sports. People, I haven't had the pleasure of going there yet, unfortunately, but people say just when you go there, it's kind of like a different feel, like the history and stuff like that. So. I think even I think even a non-Packers fan would have taken it at least in their top 5.
Yeah.
So I'll go with Lambeau first. Number 2, I'll dabble in baseball here. I think I know what it's called. Okay, I'm just gonna ask you: is Pittsburgh's called PNC?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that. I think the view from that stadium is sick.
Okay.
Again, never actually been there. Just going really vibes on the stadiums here, so I'll go with that next. I don't know if that's a good pick or not, but I'm gonna go with it. So.
Okay. Bad pick. I'll take the very obvious other baseball stadium here. I'm gonna go Fenway Park.
Yeah, that's the other one I was gonna go with, but I was just like, I don't know. Trying to get creative.
Okay, and then very next, I'm gonna go with fuck it. I'll be a homer too. I'm gonna take the Big House.
Okay.
People call it a toilet bowl. I say it's the biggest stadium in North America. A lot of history there. So, Big House.
Okay. Next one, go with. I feel like I should dabble in college stadiums here. I don't know where to go with it though. We'll go with. This is kind of more, I guess, almost based a little bit on like the experience, but I'll go Death Valley, like LSU.
Yep.
I don't know what the actual. I don't know enough about it to like know what the actual stadium's like in terms of like a stadium experience, but like the games are crazy. It's got a very high capacity, so I feel like that's a solid pick. And then next one I'll go with. I'm gonna rip a Clyde pick here. I don't know how good it is. He said the Cardinal Stadium. Apparently that's good. So
St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah.
not the Arizona Cardinals.
I thought you
Yeah,
were
no,
Arizona Cardinals.
No, the St. Louis
Just
Cardinals.
standard as dome.
No.
Okay.
And you get to see the arch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bushfield
All right, we'll go Bush Field. Yeah.
or Bush Stadium.
I knew what that one was called.
Bush.
Yeah, Bush. Yeah.
fun. It's
That's
really
sick.
special.
You ever been in the Arch?
No, I've never been to St.
Yeah,
Louis.
I've been in the Arch, looking down on it. It's pretty sick.
It's weird though.
Yeah.
The elevator goes like sideways.
And then like Percy Jackson's doing like tricks up there and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
Okay, so I got 2 to wrap up. Oh. I'm gonna go with. I think they changed the name. I think I'm gonna go with Oracle Park Giants. The bay out there, Barry Bonds just sending balls in the ocean. Unbelievable stadium. That's a bucket lister. I definitely want to go to. I get one more then. Fuck. You know what? I'll just go other history and I'll throw in another, an actual like technically like basketball stadium. I'll go TD Garden.
Okay, it's a fair pick. I got one more. Trying to decide like which league I want to go with. I feel like that's the hardest part because there's so many.
Clyde's trying to tell you United Center.
I'm not picking the United Center.
It's the biggest NBA arena.
Well, I don't care. I'm not a big fan of like I feel like if you're doing like a best stadiums thing, like I feel like arenas are
That's fair.
I feel like the
definitely
only one you
lower
get
end.
is TD Garden.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like those just aren't as cool.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like, I mean, shout out to the what is the Intuit Dome that they just built?
Dome.
That looks pretty sick. I'm not gonna pick it though. Shit, I had one in my mind too, and I just already blanked on what it was. God damn it.
Shot clock's really winding
No, I
down.
know. I had one on deck too, and I just completely forgot what it was. I said Idaho. Okay, we talked about this pre-show. I know you said it's overrated. I don't care. Again, I'll go with the
Rose Bowl.
the feel of it. We'll go Rose Bowl.
I think
It's not the
one.
coolest stadium.
I think one that got left off that you could have taken there was Penn State.
Oh yeah, Penn State. I know Michigan. The shoe also. Shoe's good. NFL. I mean, Arrowhead's actually pretty sick.
Right.
Actually,
Awesome.
too, so
Soldier Field you could put up there just because of
historical factor.
the overall stadium's a dump. There's no
Yeah.
parking. Ford Field's great.
So the baseball stadiums are like cool, like Petco Park. It's a cool stadium.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, there's some better ones. Than
Yankee
that.
Stadium is still.
Yankee Stadium's good. City Field's good.
Padres.
That's what I said.
That's Petco.
Yeah.
Dodger Stadium. People
Yeah,
love.
Dodger Stadium. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there.
Yeah.
But Lumen Field, Seahawks. It's pretty
Yep.
cool design.
Yeah.
But yeah. Jason said the Sphere, if you can count that, I guess. I don't know.
I think that's more of just a place.
Um,
They did hold a UFC fight there though. So
Jerry, sorry, not Jason. Also, Terry was in here. He said UCLA baby 2-5 on a Nebraska next. Terry still gonna stand by the fact that UCLA is not very good. I think Nebraska is gonna beat them, but you never know. I guess Nebraska didn't look too good last week. That'll do it though for Rock Hard Takes. We'll move forward to Kelly's Kinky Rankings.
In a world of politics, war, bad beats, and watching your favorite sports teams come up short, sometimes you just need to hear a guy rank random shit. Enter your hero, Colin Kelly, here today for another edition of Kelly's Kinky Rankings.
All right, we're doing presidents that are the best athletes in the house. So Beth, my bad. Yeah, best athletes in the White House. So number 5. Oh, sorry. You're good. Number 5, we're going George Bush's dad, the other one. So apparently the other one, the older one. So he played
H.W. Bush, but you put George Bush dad.
because I'm gonna be honest, no one knows his fucking dad.
George Bush dad. That's what I'm saying. It's funny.
George Bush. All right. He played baseball at Yale. Brought him to a College World Series. Kind of cool. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's it. Yeah, World Series. Kind of cool. I don't think they won shit. Jimmy Carter. He played.
Have you seen him these days? I don't think he's doing much activity.
Wait, is he still alive?
They say he is.
Wait, George Bush is still alive?
I know a dead man when I see one. That brother is not alive.
Wait.
George Bush is alive. He's not that old. Jimmy Carter's like 100 something.
Well, Jimmy Carter is the man, but like George Bush, he played like baseball in
seen
the
a photo of
40s,
Jimmy
bro. Yeah, Jimmy Carter's fucking. He's kicking.
They're just rolling around a skeleton.
Yeah, but like, dude, he's cool. Oh God. Okay, whatever, man. He's like what 100.
Yeah,
Jimmy, I think he just turned like 101.
Good for him, dude.
Speaking of that, the oldest person in the world died today.
Yeah.
Is that the Astros? Do you remember when?
Well, yeah, everyone starts cheering once he fucking lifts the ball. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Did you guys say the oldest person in the
They
world
just
died?
died. Yeah.
Yeah, 115.
Why would you want to live 115 years?
Dude, they were like,
I'm good at 80. Like that's too much.
she was 30 during World War II.
Fucking
probably
old
a-
head, bro. Oh
Oh.
my God, dude.
George H.W. Bush is dead. Did not realize that.
Oh, he is dead. Fuck.
Yeah.
When he died.
2018.
Oh shit, that's recent.
6 years ago.
Sorry, man.
All right, well, we fucked up.
All right, so let's just
Wait,
move
that
on
was
here.
right after the Astros. Oh, that's even okay. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go Dwight Eisenhower. He played football. Yeah, that's it. He played football.
All right.
I'll make it quick. Obama.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. Hey, it's really fun. Obama is
He doubles down.
I'm sorry. That joke is so I love it. I love Obama. He's actually like, I mean, he's pretty beloved when it comes to sports. I mean, he's worked with Team USA almost every single time he was in office when it came to like pick up basketball. So I mean, pretty heavily involved with sports. That was kind of his like big thing. Was like, you know, when the teams came, it was all good. So yeah, he's a big basketball guy. Good sports. This is for Michigan, so we're gonna go Gerald Ford, Michigan All Famer.
Yeah.
He's a fucking dog. I don't know. He's an All American, right?
I don't know about that.
Probably not, but I knew he was good. He was good at Michigan, though.
Yeah, it could have. Was it because of a war or he wanted to be in politics? That's what I don't
know.
remember.
Either way, it's a pretty big power move to be like, sorry guys, you can't join the NFL. I have to be the president of our country.
Yeah,
It's a pretty
Yeah.
big thing. Yeah, but shout out Jimmy Carter though. He played at Navy and he was also in the military, so that's pretty cool too. But
So he turned down the NFL to enter law school because at that time the NFL was actually just kind of not
Jokes.
that big of a deal compared to college and paid very low. So
wow,
All right.
chose law over him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's dealing with the fucking jersey retired, so let's be honest. Yeah, it's gonna be him. So best president. I don't
Is
know.
that because he was that good, or was it just because
It might have been because you it might have been that more to the okay, yeah, that probably for sure. But yeah, actually, I don't know because there's not a lot of athletes that are presidents. I mean, some of them are like
we always have to question like how good could have Abe's footwork been down low?
if
Abe like
yeah,
could have been a great power forward.
yeah, no, he would have actually been phenomenal at basketball, you know. But yeah, I don't know. It is tough. I feel like JFK would have been a really good wide receiver.
Yeah,
He could have been like a Julian Edelman, you know?
never really got to see him go.
Never got to see him go. Yeah. Which actually he could have played football, so that's on him. But oh god. Yeah, Gerald Ford. I mean, quick and easy list. It's pretty basic. There's not a lot of presidents that are actually, yeah, some of them are fat, some of them are pretty good, but yeah, Gerald Ford, pretty cake.
All
right, so I'll list today, Kelly. I mean, I would really hope you wouldn't screw that one up, especially judging by the fact that we did it just like a couple months ago. So
yeah,
had some homework at least to go off of. But yeah, Gerald Ford's the easiest like number one pick of anything ever. So yeah. That's going to do it, though, for today's edition of Rock Hard Ball. So thank you guys all for tuning in. I know it's kind of a little bit of a different time today, too. Had some technical difficulties, so we weren't able to go right at 9. We had to push it back an hour. But we'll be back on Monday. Hopefully, for at least a little bit, we'll be back to regular schedule of Mondays and Thursdays every day, or not every Monday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Central Time. So we hope you guys keep tuning in. But until next time, we will see you later here on Rock Hard Ball.